front of everyone. Like they knew the things you hide defend up. Eyes can see the sunset.
What are we doing?
More than just
what are we doing today?
One-dimensional pope. Their beliefs are really dumb, and it's no wonder they default to blaming the results on who's assaulted by the ruse, claiming that the fault.
I'm really sick of the friars. I'm just sick of the whole thing. I'm so sick of them and their shit and their arrogance and their entitlement, and I'm just sick of it all.
Team Jorge pushes more hate than your fake goofy guy.
Look at this. I had a fucking splinter in my finger that I didn't realize I had until I was driving. And I was like, oh shit, that hurts a lot. What is that? See what shit? Jesus Christ. I go, have Mother get that out for me. Mother! Oh, man.
Somehow this crazy clown's the king of when and how Americans speak. These pigs are proud to cheat when kosher bacon's on the line. Can't tell Haynes allowed to keep his concentration can't define as many
Damn it.
before it's time with the kind
Oh,
of crazy
gotta share it. Hang on a second. Alright, hang on. I gotta tag Ari Shafir. Alright, sorry about that. Trying to get Ari Shafir to come to this fucking feed. I wanna roast that piece of shit because I hate him. They say I hate him. I hate them all. It's a weird feeling, but like, yeah, I'm full of it. I'm full of hatred for what is awful. I mean, it's awful. You know, you can't possibly tell me why hating pedophiles is a bad thing. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a pedophilia cult. And it's weird because you have like your societal sort of perception, your societal training that keeps you in this forever position. It's really weird. You know, we all think we're not supposed to say things. Like we'll say these things about certain groups and not think twice about it. But we've been trained to believe that this other group is above all of us, is better than all of us, is better than any, you know. And it's just, it's fucking wild. And, you know, they tell you to believe in their God, and then they are the God's favorite people, and like it's all just this really obvious thing. But most people, if I said I'm full of hatred for this pedophile cult, for this, I said for the friars. I didn't say, I used the word that they actually are, not friars, the Jays. Most people would be like, you can't say that. You can't say, why would you can't hate them. It's like, why the fuck can't I hate them?
It's crazy.
Please, somebody tell me why I can't hate this shit. This shit is awful.
So obvious.
I mean, we're talking about like Nightmare. So many different versions of Nightmare.
Israel video. Part 2. I don't remember hearing anybody ever complain.
When I'd use the redneck accents. Think about it, man. Why aren't you allowed to say how you feel? Think about just how weird that is. That like, it's really akin to the people who get vaccinated being scared of those who don't. You know, it's like if you got vaccinated and that shit works, then what are you worried about? Shouldn't your vaccine protect you from people like me who don't get it? Like, what's the point of getting it if you're still going to be scared? I mean, it's so weird. It's so fucking weird.
Your soybeans clearly turned from yellow, red, and blue to green. Your educated team always.
It's just strange. This whole thing is just strange. And fits. It makes sense. Like it. You know, like with Trump and the dictator shit. You know, he's gonna go after people he doesn't like, get them arrested if they don't comply and shit like this dictator shit. He's talking about how if somebody ever replaces him, which might happen, hey dude, regardless of whether you illegally run for a third term, you're gonna die. Okay? So
this penis party's got to go.
like what a stupid thing to say. What a insane belief structure to have.
Their penis party's got to go. It's night.
You know, what if for them the way they have it set up, dying is like when you first go over the hill of the roller coaster, and then you go through and then you like a tunnel of a water slide or whatever, and then you come out the other side and you're the new kid. You're still that guy inside, but you're the new kid. What if that's how that works? What if it's just that quick? They just transfer their consciousness to something else, and that's what that's their reality. We just don't know it. I'll be with you in a minute, old friend. I'm dealing with some role-playing military dudes right now. Okay. Be careful. You know, I mean, you have to think like somebody that's in the military, like that's a different person than us. There's no way, like there's nothing about the military that I could possibly be. No, you know it's funny I say that, but like in 2003 or 4, maybe it's 4, somewhere in between 3 and 4, I was at a doctor's office with my girlfriend at the time, trying to get some drugs, obviously. Back when you could just go from doctor's office to doctor's office because they weren't all connected. And there was an article, I remember reading it, and it was about, you know, a soldier. Like, it was in the art. It was the same magazine that was like top 30, you know, millionaires under 30 or whatever. 30 millionaires under 30, something like that. So it was like they like kicked you in the nuts with you know, look what you haven't been. Look, you're a loser. You're not even one of these people. And then it was like the double whammy was the I don't remember what kind of military thing it was, but it was just something that had me thinking I should go and like save my country, you know, save my people, save my family. I could be a part of that thing, and that's me. So imagine what it's like for somebody that doesn't have my mentality. You know, somebody that's been raised to believe in a Jesus and does, and you know, Trump supporting. I'm a Republican and a Democrat. You know, kind of bullshit. Like that person is already ready to follow directions, ready to follow rules, and how are they gonna? You think that person's ever gonna be like, oh, let me just walk away from this? Let me turn my eyes to this. Jesus Christ, man. You seriously not gonna go? Okay, you're gonna go now. Alright. Dumbasses. Wow, they tore down that building and put that new shit up, huh? Wow, that was an old Chinese restaurant. It'd been there forever. Forever. Forever.
Beat him down, and I'll beat you down to beat him down, and I'll beat you down to beat him down, and I'll.
Interestingly, so I have 2,500 subscribers here. I shared it on my band page that has over 6,000 following, and then my regular page too. And here we have 2 people watching. Military, that would be a must-watch during their coffee break. Win some points and prizes in the rival. I can't even imagine. I was so fucking not the guy. I was all pilled out. And, like they would have rejected me. I don't know, maybe. Probably not. They'll take whoever they can get. And if they could just get me through the DT part, I'd have been a fine soldier. Got him. So weird. They're like building up all this area. Like this is the fucking hood. Just because you put rims on your geo tracker doesn't mean it's not a geo tracker. Like it makes you wonder, what are they doing? If they're putting up these large, nicer, newer apartment buildings and all that shit, like the Tartaria building right there. See that shit? And what are they doing with all the people? People can't afford this shit. And this is the hood. Nobody that can afford that's gonna want to live here. So what is the plan? Probably removing all the fucking the trash. So funny, the line in this song says our judicial system's buns, and I only put that in because I wanted to use the word buns in the song, when hung would have been a much better word to use. Rhyme and like double entendre. That was stupid. I should have done it that way. Kick him in the dick. No, kick him in the dick. Kick him in the dick. I shared out Grok Clut before coming. I mean, it's really fucking crazy that video is not viral. Really, that should be the most viral fucking video. And I haven't given it the attention it deserves. I haven't put in the effort. I wanted to see what would happen. But that video, like, it shows you something that nobody else is going to show you. It shows you like it's crazy to think about it. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. This video, like, think about how many videos exist showing you crazy shit that Grok says or does. You know, oh, Grok said this, Grok did this, Grok. What the fuck? You know, Grok says this about Trump, and Grok says Israel this, and that used to be a McDonald's. It's weird when you see McDonald's shut down. This whole area is just shit. Like, I can't imagine what they're gonna do here. You used to be able to come down, and that was a party store right there, and there would just be dudes standing out front selling drugs like all the time. So they're clearly cleaning this area up. Look at this old Tartaria building. Who built that shit? Guarantee that's from the 19s, like early 19s, maybe even 18s. Then you got this big ass church here. Seriously, who built that shit? Who built that? We didn't build that. Us didn't build that. That's me just seeing the clip even though I was there. That's just hitting my screen 2 months later. Right. The craziest I'm not using hyperbole or exaggeration here. I think it's honestly the craziest Grok video that exists. It's such a crazy video that people will think it's fake. That Grok, when I've played it for Grok, had Grok look it up and then had them, had it and then played it while Grok was like, well, obviously you're faking it by having somebody do a voiceover, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, that's not what's happening here, Grok. It's a live feed. How could I do that on a live feed in the middle of a conversation 3 hours into the live? Or an hour 49 minutes into the live, sorry. It's at the 149 mark. I mean, seriously. Somebody has, like, if there was a competition, an award ceremony, whatever, who craziest Grok videos, I would absolutely nominate it, and I'm pretty sure I'd win. Come on, you young American. Right? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. We didn't build that. We built a lot of this shit. We didn't build it. Not saying humans didn't. I'm saying we didn't. This version of us didn't do that. Especially in the early 19s, late 18s, when we were somehow so much better at building things than we are today. Yeah, I'm going to just do the turnaround because... We built the Pentagon too, I'm sure. I still think it's crazy that none of the Tartaria guys, I mean, maybe they have, I haven't looked in a while, but weird how none of the Tartaria guys care about the Pentagon. How come none of them have done a deep dive into the Pentagon? The Pentagon is the craziest building in the United States, and it's just not talked about. It's so fucking wild. It doesn't get any stranger than the Pentagon. Or more strange, I guess. Any more strange than the Pentagon. I don't like the word stranger than the Pentagon. I don't know. But it is fucking weird. It's it just doesn't, it don't make no sense. El Bethel. They really are cleaning up Detroit. It's weird. It took forever, but they're finally doing it. And you don't even really hear, they're not making it you don't hear about it. I had a guy who was a Freemason, claimed to be a high-ranking Freemason, tell us that was what was going to happen. That they were going to make it as bad as they could so all of the riffraff would leave, all the black people would leave, and then they would start rebuilding it and make it too expensive for anybody to move in. All good. How's it going, man? Haven't had time to catch up on yesterday's shenanigans. All good. Oh, yeah, everything's, I have a hearing in a month. So I gotta have a full hearing because presenting evidence showing that I clearly couldn't have been seen. I did what I'm supposed to do, but I couldn't be seen doing it. That's not good enough. Oh, yes. Nice and spacious. Guys, the Grok video, seriously, think about everything we've done in the last, 3 months or so. Look at this. Look at this fucking shit. Nobody's pissed off that gas is at almost $4 a gallon. What the fuck is going on, people? We're just all okay with that? It's just so fun. And nobody's going, Trump, you said we had 25 years worth of oil reserves. We never need oil again. Like, why is this what's happening? Shouldn't everything be a lot cheaper? You can thank Trump for that. Oh no, Trump's gonna lower the gas and food prices that Biden and Kamala, they sat around raising everything. What does asparagus cost? $2.99. Make it $3.99. It's fucking crazy. When you come across a pedo, kick him in the dick. Why didn't it play anymore? That's weird. Go fuck yourself. How's that?
Nice.
Not nice? Mean big butthead jerk, remember? That's why my wife doesn't like me. And everybody else thinks I'm stupid. And alright, let's get this motherfucker out. Apparently I have a big old splinter in my hand. Huh? From yesterday? No, I'll just pull it out. Ow. Ow. Jesus. That's a big one. Feels like there's still something in there, though. The best tool to get splinters out is your nail clippers. Always use nail clippers because you can grab, you can clear away whatever skin you need to. Ow. Yeah, there still must be something in there because it still hurts too much. Ow. Of course, my eyes don't work so well anymore, so I can't see. Ow! I don't think I got it all. Can't tell. Oh, we'll see. We will see, won't we?
Why am I the chosen one protecting chosen boys and girls from choiceless crimes that have been done since Palestine said, "Come, you filthy refugee."
Ow!
In our houses,
This motherfucker hurts now, even more. I know you still, when it still hurts, that means you still have the shit in your hand.
let everyone live peacefully.
Usually when you get it out, it's like, oh, that feels great. But
The boy came back home and found the locks had all been changed. The
I don't know.
Palestinians were blown away and found it really strange that Israeli hunger pangs had been fed by Goyim suffering. Their beliefs are so deranged that their pictures always bring. And although that is enough to bring the hate they so deserve, like ketchup and mustard icing.
Like ketchup and mustard icing. Gross.
Story where Hezbollah put it into words how they exploit more kids than Maury.
Oh.
It's the bottom of darkness. Why are they so heartless? You're not very smart if you are a part of this. They're driving us car circuits, the Bolshevik.
My wife's so dumb. It's a puppy. It can't be left alone. It'd be fast. It'd be fast.
It's literally despicable and unbelievable.
Besides, you know,
So there's the static.
we beat her anyway, right? Beat the dogs. Beat the dogs. The dog only makes noise when you heard it. Such a funny bunch of bullshit. Oh, whoa, where did all that shit come from? Oh.
There's stories so detestable like the 11th of September when wax has their kids defender when another excuse provided.
Fuck everything. Wow. You know, the funny thing is, you know, it's like everybody talks about the satanic pedophilia. And I don't understand. It's pedophilia. It doesn't need to be worse. You don't need to make the pedophilia sound like it's without the, you know, it's just regular pedophilia. So it's not, it's satanic pedophilia.
It's the bottom of darkness. Why?
You know, they're hiding all of it. And
You're
it's,
not very smart if you are a person.
it's a strange thing to
It's the
witness.
bottom of darkness.
And watching them do it like the way they do it,
We are swimming with sharks.
it's better for us to
Marxists.
focus on genocide than it is for us to focus on the pedophilia.
If a kid
That's
says
the way
someone
they
hurt
see
them,
it,
how
and that's
bad does it have to be
it's actually
to
true.
hide behind the curtain of a blind man's disbelief, like a flower-scented queef? Something
Flower-scented
smells like fishy,
queef.
since the only way we see relief is by washing all of the wishy narratives and the blissfully ignorant institution is raping children so religiously it's clearly part of their delusion, and what they see as an illusion of redemption and transcendence is just more of the ruse, and I use my First Amendment to try to get them apprehended for their inexcusable crimes, just as those who would defend it should
Well,
We've
volcano.
been living off our dimes, and I'm kind of unconvinced that this shit even exists.
Come on, chubby
I
fat
just
girl,
don't
let's go.
understand how raping little kids turns a boy chick into a man, since what kind of sick God's plan involves torturing a child? And where are all the Jews demanding genocide for pedophiles?
It's a boy chick. Seriously though, like they're hiding the pedophilia with genocide. Like how they hid Serena Buakwa's, you know, the attack on
Israel's
the
#1 free news weekly
funeral
published the
behind the
bottom
murder.
article in April of
They made it sound like the murder was
2025. It detailed the ritual
the big story, and it was. I mean, it definitely was a huge story, but
every community. So
you know, murders happen all the time. Has anybody ever seen a fucking a funeral be attacked?
Demanding an investigation and the
Attacking a funeral is a completely different level.
and the unbelievable ritual debauchery. Curb the cult. Sincerely, TVG, baby.
Dude, you're not even one of us. You're one of them. So go fuck yourself. Act like you give a shit. You don't care. Did you hear about the friar guy that went to somebody's house and knocked on their door giving them an eviction notice because their grandfather promised them the house? You hear about that in the United States? Hippie hay time. Yes. Yes, indeed, hippie hay. Hippie hey, yay, yay, hey, ho, yo, hey, yo. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. That was terrible.
Chewing the fat that they're rendering using the school books and the passages to turn us all into Goyim masochists. Believe in devilish fairy tales. If they can make us into insular savages,
What, Karen?
see how we're clearly in jail. If you're gonna lie big, lie big. A big lie's been supplied to the kids. From the old London bridge to the three little kids. The truth lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines
Oh,
of the
yay.
grid.
We have a friar on here.
Lies in the lines of the grid.
JR is a friar. He's a piece of shit, pedophile, genocidal friar. You know how you know? They all give themselves away. They're too sick. They all say the same thing. Schizo. It's schizo babble. It's schizo. It's funny how the only response they can come up with is, you're crazy. You have a mental issue. If it was a mental issue, then shouldn't it be treated with care? Strange, if you're going to call me, like, do you usually attack schizophrenics? It's my grandpa's house, yes.
Lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid. Lies in the lines of the grid.
This whole thing is fucking wild, man. I wish I did, like, I almost feel like I've beat the game and I'm on the second playthrough and I'm getting close to the end and I'm like, man, I really like this game, but I don't want to play it again. Gamer reference. If you're not a gamer, you don't know. But this is like, it's so easy. It's weird. This is also easy. So why is this such a difficult thing to get across? I mean, it's easy to me. I look at it and I'm like, you see this and you don't have any issue with it. You just watch it happen and you're okay with it. Like, just weird. It's just weird.
If you're gonna lie big, a big lie's been supplied to the kids.
But how do you ask? The fact that every time you try talking to a Christian, they get mad and shit. It really should be if you're meant to. I mean, it's like they, what are you still hanging on to? I don't get it. What are you hanging on to in any of this? I did do 9/11. Yep. You are Generation Complicate. You are Generation Complicate. Gotcha.
Just search lie big cards and see the big lie for yourself. TPG, baby.
Like, it's fucking nuts. And the thing is, when it comes to 9/11, Israel did 9/11. Israel, well, not even, I always say Israel doesn't actually exist. Israel is just a thing. It's just a place that they tell us exists, right? But, it's the friar cult, and they did it. They did that. The biggest thing about 9/11 is not the towers. Well, I mean, there's a lot of pieces to that. You know that if you look up, well, let me show you guys something cool. Well, cool is a. It's not cool. It's just what it is. Okay, so we do this, we do this, we do this, do this, that. Scroll a touch. Click the. We'll do lie big again. Why the fuck not? Lie big's a good song. So, when you put in friars died on 9/11.
We buy so much stupid they seldom tell us the real truth about anything. Like the actual purpose of bells won't tell is
So I put Friars died on 9/11. It pops up Friar history, redirect from history of the friars, persecution of the friars. Friars were not allowed to own slaves, build synagogues, hold public offices, or try cases between a friar and a non-friar. Then it says the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting, which is as fake a story as it's ever been. 9/11 conspiracy theories. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Let's see what this says. Various conspiracy theories attribute the preparation and execution of 9/11 attacks against the United States to parties other than or in addition to Al-Qaeda. These include the theory that high-level government officials had advanced knowledge of the attacks. They made a lot of money off of it, too. Government investigations and independent reviews have rejected these theories. Oh, the government investigating itself rejected the claims that the government did something nefarious? God, that's interesting. Must be on to Sumat. I don't know what that is. Is that after Purim? Purim? The most prominent conspiracy theory is that the collapse of Twin Towers and the World Trade Center were the result of controlled demolitions. The National Institute, architects, history, types. One false allegation that circled widely online was that no friars were killed in the attack, and that therefore the attacks must have been the work of Mossad. First, let's elaborate. I'm surprised it's so hard for me to find this shit, actually. How many? Maybe if I put that in, it'll work. Really interesting that the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting is what comes up when I put how many friars died on 9/11. Why is it trying to tell me to go look at that today? Maybe something's changed, that's why. October 27, 2018, a mass shooting occurred at the Tree of Life, or El Simcha Congregation Synagogue in the Square Hill neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah. The congregation, along with the New Light Congregation and the congregation Dor Hadash, which also worshipped in the building, was attacked during Shabbat morning services. The perpetrator killed 11 and wounded 6 in the deadliest attack on a local friar community in American history. 11 people. It's such a fake narrative. I just don't. I really have no interest in pushing the narrative. But the perpetrator, 46-year-old Robert Gregory Bowers, was shot multiple times by police and arrested at the scene. He survived getting shot multiple times, apparently. You are really or underestimating the damage bullets do if you think somebody can get shot multiple times by police. Bowers had earlier posted anti-Semitic comments against HIAS, formerly Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, on the alt-tech social network Gab. Dor Hadash had participated in HIAS, H-I-A-S, HIAS National Refugee Shabbat the previous week, referring to Central American migrant caravans and immigrants. Bowers posted a message on Gab in which he wrote that HIAS likes to bring invaders in that kill our people. I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics, I'm going in. And that wasn't enough to get him arrested or even talked to. And you would think if Gab is a social media platform known by the system to be a white supremacy yada yada platform, you would think if somebody posted shit like that while also posting pictures of guns, they'd go talk to him. He was charged with 63 federal crimes, some of them capital crimes. Bowers pleaded not guilty. In 2023, he was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to death by lethal injection. You have zero proof that Bowers did any of this.
And call the Charlie Show the con that it isn't since the bond with our
just like anything else that involves them, for some reason, security cameras and shit don't work. For some reason, you know, all the footage that could prove it, like in this Tree of Life thing, the cops had created a perimeter, like significantly far away, quarter-mile away or whatever, from the actual synagogue. And nobody could get through. Apparently they didn't even bother flying drones overhead. And every once in a while, like they'd have a camera set up next to a vehicle or something. And every once in a while you'd see like some soldiers go running by. Or you'd hear some fireworks in the background. Pop, 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 pop. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Goyim are is one. No silly sun gods being worshipped. The story being spun is just the web lies we're cursed. Every action has a purpose. Every story an agenda.
Background. Tree of Life or El Simchi Congregation is a conservative friar synagogue. So one of the things this led to was the Secure Community Network getting a lot more power. It's events like this, and then 6 months to the day later, the one that happened in California with John T. Earnest. Remember John T. Earnest? Who supposedly shot one person, shot the finger off of a rabbi, and then as there happened to be a cop or somebody was with a gun was at the congregation, he stood up, started firing. John T. Earnest's gun jammed, and so he ran out, escaped, got down the road away, called the police on himself. They said pull over and wait for the cops to go up, and that's what he did. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, good thing there's no footage, huh, Karen? Might actually prove what they have to say for a change. You know, might justify the supremacy that comes from it. Because like I say, I guess people just don't, you don't really understand how big a deal the Secure Community Network is.
The Iranians crazy bastards. Open the street and crazy bastards. Did you hear his response?
Like Bill's erection whenever she's undressing since she's yesterday the Iranians crazy bastards.
What is your response to critics who say that I don't care about critics? What is your response to critics who say that it's your mental health that should perhaps be examined?
That's fake news.
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on
There we go.
for many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people.
I don't understand that. He doesn't ever answer questions. Never. He just repeats his lies, and that's what Cohen taught him to do. I couldn't myself onto the nearest police station. All right. The synagogue described itself as a traditional, progressive, and egalitarian congregation. They're traditional and they're progressive. Traditional and progressive. Would you consider yourself traditional and progressive? Would you consider yourself to be traditional and progressive? It is located in the Square Hill neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, about 5 miles east of downtown Pittsburgh. The Square Hill neighborhood is one of the largest predominantly friar neighborhoods in the United States and has historically been the center of Pittsburgh's friar community. About 26% of the city's population live in the area. Of the city's friar About 26% of the city's friar population lived there. Wow. Originally founded as an Orthodox friar congregation in 1864, sure.
God isn't working through me, then how?
Their shit didn't exist in 1864. Their shit wasn't invented until after the late 18s, in the 1880 or so. In downtown Pittsburgh by an early group of friar immigrants. Tree of Life merged in 2010 with the recently founded congregation Or El Simcha. The modern synagogue building, located at the intersection of Wilkins and Shady Avenues. The congregation also rents space to Dor Hadash, a Reconstructionist congregation, and New Light, another conservative congregation. The synagogue's main sanctuary has a capacity of 1,250 people. By the way, if you're watching, please share. We're at 7 viewers and 5 likes, so looks like we have full censorship today. I mean, you know. So I say. It's obvious that I'm just lying. I'm not censored. 7 viewers and 5 likes is pretty normal. You know, it's a weird feeling when you see the videos of attacks on Israel, and I mean, you don't really see too much. Like, a lot of it seems just staged. You know, it hits a car, the missile comes down and hits a car, and then the car is on fire. Like, why do they only seem to hit cars and shit? But I saw a video today of these Israelis in their really nice apartment were filming as it looked like missiles were coming towards them. I don't think the missiles actually hit them. But, you know, you could hear them screaming. And at the end of the day, there still are a lot of children in Israel that are absolutely future bad guys. And these are victims. These are people that are being victimized. What was I watching? I was watching something the other day when they were talking about, it was a clip of something, I think. And they were talking about how you can't solve, you know, violence with more violence, basically. And that the apartheid in South Africa was a great example of how you can fix the problem without there being bloodshed. Because they were saying that, like, the solution to the apartheid in South Africa should have been lots of bloodshed. According to every other metric that exists, every example of something along those lines happening, it always ended in bloodshed. But he was like, the thing that Mandela and company were able to figure out was that even the leaders that were doing the horrible things, that were the cause of the horrible things, well, because they were a part of the system, they weren't guilty, they were victims. And that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. Like, they're victims. But it's really hard because it's like, I don't know. Does that break? I mean, can you fix that? You know, like, you don't have to be country, or you don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be traumatic, and it still has lasting impressions. Like somebody that's country as fuck, even when they move to the city and they acclimate themselves, and years later, there's still those country bits and pieces left inside them. And so, like, to think that can you rehabilitate someone that was raised in ritualistic sexual abuse, where they're told, like it's so fucked up, but they say one of the hardest parts of it is when the victims realize that they aren't special, they aren't chosen, and all of the shit they were fed and then maintained in order to survive. Like, it's how you justify the abuse being done to you is because, well, you're special. And if the abuse wasn't done to you, then the world might have ended. Then bad things would have happened. So it was that abuse being done to you that prevented the world from going to hell. And you can tell that to children, and children will fall for it, right? Are you a friar? Are you a friar? Let's see, joined 10 years ago, no subscribers. Sounds like a friar to me. But like, again, it's like you hear what's being said. I'm talking about these pedos and how we can, that the children, we need to save the children, blah, blah. And they're like, nah, don't say these things. You always have to ask yourself, who's going to do that? Who's the person that's going to, like, I'm the one that says we need to save the Jewish children. I'm a huge advocate for Jewish children. And yet, for some reason, the friars don't support me. Gee, I wonder why.
Your eggs are Arnold's Benedict. This just made smart of me.
A French friar. Probably. I don't know. I mean, it's who even stumbles across my feed? I mean, with as much as I'm shut down anymore, you know that, like, for you to be here, it has to be deliberate. And it's in the evidence. I have the evidence to show that they're assigned to be here. They're directed to be here. Squirrel Hill has a low crime rate and is not generally regarded as racially tense, right? Because it's all friars. It's racially tense for anybody who isn't friar. I'll tell you what.
If you're a TBG fan, don't be stupid.
I tell you what.
We just wanted someone to know how bad they can hurt nobodies, even if that's not their intention. If you tell starving people you will provide them with enough food to feed their village forever, you can't play the victim when you fail for no explanation.
However, the local rabbinic student Neil Rosenbaum was murdered in the neighborhood in 1986 in an anti-Semitic hate crime. Bet. Funny how the murder that happened in that town is considered a hate crime. Always is. Everything with them is more important than us. This 2000, and see, look at, we're talking about the 2018 shooting, and this is, we're finally going to get to it on this page. The 2018 mass shooting took place soon after Columbia University and the Anti-Defamation League independently reported a spike in anti-Semitic activity online, especially on the popular social networking platforms Instagram and Twitter. In addition, other anti-Semitic acts had been seen elsewhere. I love how they just say that shit, and then it's up to you to sort of fill in the blanks. You know, but they just say, "Look, we're the victims. We're the victims." You know, if you look up the reports of it, the anti-Semitic hate crimes and all that shit that they claim happens, and they say it's thousands. You know, it goes up 1,000-fold, blah, blah, blah. Do any of you know what you would call, where you would call to report a hate crime? To report something that, you know, a situation that happened to you. Basically, somebody said something that you didn't like. Somebody said something to you that you didn't like, and like I bet yesterday a hate crime was reported in Michigan because I yelled at some friars, "Free Palestine, you pieces of shit." And I wish I would have said more to them. I'm mad at myself that I had the opportunity and didn't say more. As soon as I said "Free Palestine," the woman turned away real quick. She wasn't like, "Yay, Free Palestine." Wasn't like that. It's so weird. It's like, you honestly thought you were going to be this oppressive, supremacist regime, entitled supremacist regime forever, and nobody would ever have a problem with it. They tried to charge crazy old Argo with hate crime for what? But what I mean is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand, if something happens that they can use to victimize themselves, like if friars were truly being assaulted, physically assaulted, hurt in any sort of way, you understand that would be national news. Vicious hate crime happened. Some friar got beat up. Doesn't matter what he said or what happened beforehand. Oh, Nathan Bedford Forrest statue thing. Well, that, you know, that was a graffiti issue as well, though, right? But I mean, it's just crazy to think, like, how dare you? Who do you think? I thought I was free. I thought this was a free society. You're telling me I'm free as long as I like shit. As long as I commit crimes that aren't regarding, that don't, you know, have anything to do with hate, then it's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay. But for me to say I hate something justifiably, let me tell you why. You know, I hate you if you don't hate that. I'll go play Boogie. I guess when you're crazy, you can do shit like that, huh? In addition, the immediate rise in the months of August to October 2018 was attributed to rising tensions associated with advertising for the 2018 U.S. midterm elections. Yeah, it has nothing to do with what they're doing. It has nothing to do with them. It's always something fucking stupid, right? They wanted it to be a felony because it was a grave. I mean, no. Putting graffiti on gravestones is but we're talking about like some clan member, right? Nathaniel Bedford Forrest. That's who Forrest Gump was named after. With midterms being a rallying point for far-right extremists to organize efforts to spread anti-Semitism online and among the populace. Again, it's funny how there's like no examples of what they're saying. We thought it was hilarious. In 2017, there was a 57% rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the United States. Again, what do those include? In context of rising hate crimes against other groups, including Muslims and African Americans, as reported by the FBI. So, white people are getting more racist, is what you're saying? Gee, what was happening in 2018 that would have white people, racist white people, feel empowered? Huh. Can you think of anything in particular that was going on? Say from 2016 to 2020? Just trust the plan. Trust the plan. Sweetheart, can you think of anything that was happening between in 2018 that would have emboldened white people to be more racist? Anything between like 2016 and 2020?
Whiplash, girl, child, in the dark.
She's so dumb.
Severin, your servant comes.
Okay.
Don't forsake him.
She's so dumb.
Strike, dear mistress.
Same thing might be happening now. The same thing might be happening now. Well, that is one thing, yeah, I would imagine. She finally figured it out. I mean, don't you miss the days when, you know, our system was governed by a pedophile ring and it was in the closet and nobody knew about it? And you know, like, think about how great things were under Obama in comparison. Yeah, but it kind of has to be that way. Like, you can't go from the old guard to the new guard without there being some turmoil. The old guard's not going to let go.
Turmoil's one thing. This is all out.
Yeah, but that's a good sign. Sucks, but it has to be like they have to go to the extremes. You can judge. like how scared they are by what they're allowing to happen, by the distractions they're providing. And at this point, we're looking at alien invasion, nuclear bombs. Like, they're really, really trying to distract us. Anything from them files.
What can I say? Their ways make me sick as we watch the parade that displays.
And personally, I think the files, I think Epstein is a distraction. And I think the way it's presented to us is a distraction. Because if you notice, our song doesn't say what's in the Epstein files. Our song says, where are the Epstein tapes? Look, I have 1 viewer, 5 likes. I've been at 1 viewer now for a while. What happened? What point did I make that obviously ruffled some feathers? For instance, hundreds of Jewish gravestones were vandalized in Pennsylvania and Missouri, and anti-Semitic incidents on university campuses doubled in number. See, didn't it come out that they were the ones vandalizing the gravestones? And the incidents at college campuses are usually, the students are speaking up for Palestine. The friar students come up and pick fights and then hide and then claim that they're the victims. In August 2017, the widely publicized Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, featured Nazi symbols, salutes, and the slogans "Blood and Soil," among other racist and anti-Semitic rhetoric. I mean, the fact is they've, like, from the river to the sea is supposedly a bad thing. You're not supposed to say that. From the river to the sea is not allowed to be said.
Even though you'll find it difficult since the website makes you leave, it's like it fights you to proceed. It kicks you off the feed, and what you might not want to believe.
Considerable anti-Semitic material was being spread online via conspiracy theories about wealthy friar individuals, including billionaire George Soros. Columbia University's John Albright said these represented the worst sample of all hate speech he had seen on Instagram. The worst hate speech is not, like, if you watch a video, go to any. I belong to a couple of different fight video pages on Facebook. And anytime it's black people fighting, the comment section blows up. Monkeys this, and that's what they do, and like all sorts of just really, really ugly shit. Just every time.
Not saying that
every fucking time. Controlled and crisis college campus escapades. But to think that, like, he's talking, and they literally said, conspiracy theories about wealthy friar individuals, including Soros, which Columbia's John Albright said represented the worst sample of all the hate speech he had seen on Instagram. Talking about how rich the friars are is the worst hate speech you can talk about. Do you understand how fucked up that is? Come on. That's so goddamn goofy. This guy said we have all the money and the power and the control. That hurts my feelings. How dare you say we have money and power and control? I'm sure it happens the other way around, though, also. Hate manufacturing. This isn't, this is just stupid. Okay, the shooting. At 9:45 exactly, 3 religious services were underway at the Tree of Life Synagogue, which housed 3 distinct congregations. They were all on Sunday. Why were they all at synagogue on Sunday? Begun independent Shabbat morning services in the Pervin Chapel, respectively. The Dor Hadash congregations were gathered near the front of the building prior to their 10 a.m. Torah study session. At around the same time, a car belonging to the gunman was parked in front of the synagogue in a disabled parking space. Gee, that's weird. And it's just like the Temple Israel one. The guy was just sitting in the parking lot for 2 hours prior to. Nobody said anything. This guy was parked in a handicap parking spot, and nobody said anything, huh? Okay. Yeah, no, I believe it. The car was loaded with 5 guns, including a Mossberg shotgun that was left in the car. Hearing protection, 3 shooting glasses. What are 3 shooting glasses? A large green bag containing ammunition for both the rifle and shotgun, and ammunition for the Glock pistols. The shooter accessed the website Gab on his phone and posted a final post on his profile at 9:49 a.m. 5 minutes later, a gunman, identified as Robert Bowers and described as a bearded, heavyset white male, opened fire, entering the building, and was shooting for about 20 minutes? Really? That's amazing. The grip pump on my lip at all time. He was armed with a Colt AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, cited by authorities as an assault rifle, which, those things are cheap. You can get those anywhere. And 3 Glock 357 SIG semi-automatic pistols. Again, anywhere you want. Easy. He was dressed in a large red-gray windbreaker over a smaller gray jacket, blue jeans, white sneakers, and a light blue shirt, and had a smaller pouch of ammunition on him. Evidence recovered from the scene determined he only fired the Colt rifle and the Glock 31 times during the shooting. He also carried several magazines for the rifle and his 3 Glock handguns, 1 40-round 223 magazine, 2 20-round 223 magazines, 5 15-round 357 magazines, 1 13-round 357 magazine, and 1 9-round 357 magazine. Amazing how you get all these dumb details, right? The shooting for 20 minutes, it's so hard to express how long 20 minutes is in one of those situations. Like, the police would be there immediately. With the San Bernardino shooting, the entire shooting supposedly happened in a 2 to 3 minute time span. And they escaped. The juice inside the tumbler puts the poison in the cup. Just like Kiefer Sutherland's Jack Bauer in 24. Want to see my Jack Bauer impression? See that? Look just like him. Everyone should have one. You should be able to defend yourself from a tyrannical government should it ever arise. That's what guns are for. When Bowers got out of his car, he opened fire at a window of the synagogue to let everybody know he was coming. Several people in the synagogue heard the first shots. Some, hearing the shots, did not initially recognize them for what they were. Rabbi Jeffrey Mayers, located upstairs, thought a coat rack had fallen and clattered. Bowers entered the synagogue through the shattered window and encountered his first two victims, Jerry Rabinowitz of Dor Hadash and Daniel Ledger. Both men had a background in medical work. They both ran downstairs from the lobby to investigate the gunshots and to check to see if anyone was hurt. That makes sense. I just heard some gunshots. Let me run towards them.
His 4,000 plus pizzas per day a troll you wisely call absurd, because 3 days and one situation. Are you more concerned having accurate information? Someone lies demands you give them favor. Do you call it out as brazen, or do you whip out Occam's razor?
Bowers shot Rabinowitz to death at the lower mezzanine before shooting Ledger in the abdomen. Ledger fell on the stairs and lay there bleeding before being rescued. 45 minutes later, he was rescued. He got shot in the stomach. An old man got shot in the stomach and bled for 45 minutes before being rescued and survived. Interesting. I'd love to see that guy show off his wound. Be like, yeah, look it. Love to see pictures of how well they stitched that up. I bet he has the same doctor as Trump's ear. Just like they do in the, I can't see what that says, what that is. Movies. Yeah, I guess. Younger was able to reach the lower mezzanine only to be fatal. Just after Rabinowitz and Ledger ran downstairs, Irving Younger and Cecil Rosenthal left the Pervin Chapel, the Pervin Chapel, and went downstairs to investigate the gunshots. I just heard more gunshots. Let me go investigate what's happening. Isn't that how that usually works? Isn't that how that usually works? Look, a muscled out friar. Muscled out friar just got beat up by this guy. Bad. Look at his head all swelling up. Trooper. Shively. Look. Boot. 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 He's beating on him. Boot. Dumb like that. Younger was able to reach the lower mezzanine only to be fatally shot by Bowers. He shouted Rosenthal's name before dying. He shouted Rosenthal's name before dying? Like, do you understand how theatrical this explanation is? Right? And then he got shot and he died on the stairs. And then two other guys showed up. They all came out two at a time to see what was going on. And he got shot and he called out his friend's name. Cecil Rosenthal! Oh! And then he died. Cecil Rosenthal ran back upstairs and tried running into the Pervin Chapel. Bowers quickly followed Rosenthal and shot him to death just as he reached the doorway of the chapel. So if he didn't say that, who heard the name being shouted? He must have shouted super loudly for people to not only heard it, but remembered it, cataloged it. I'm going to tell the police this so it can go on the Wikipedia article. Bowers quickly shot him to death. Just after entering the chapel, Bowers shot Sylvan Simon, who was next to his wife, in the back before leaving the chapel. He didn't shoot the wife? By 9:54, police began receiving multiple calls from people barricaded in the building and reporting the attack. That was 5 minutes later. People weren't calling before 5 minutes? The first 911 call was made by Sylvan Simon's wife, Bernice, to report that her husband had been shot at this. Like, again, she was next to him? Why didn't he shoot her too? We're gonna try to say that he was the type he'd only shoot men? Is that his thing? When the shooting started, Audrey Glickman, Joseph Charney, Rabbi Jeffrey Myers, and David Rosenthal ran to the front of the Pervin Chapel. Wait, is this a different Rosenthal? Yes, Cecil Rosenthal was the first one. They decided to hide in an area above the Pervin Chapel. Rosenthal was under distress and exclaimed that he wanted to go home. I just want to go home. Do you guys not? This is extremely theatric, don't you think? You can't, you won't see this type of illustration and showmanship when you look up other shootings. The San Bernardino shooting, there's no detailed record of who got shot and what order and all that other shit. It all happened within 2 to 3 minutes. The sprinkler system had been hit, so the sprinklers were pouring out water, and it's a dumbass story for sure, but like this is fucking silly. Each person's gonna get their own little thing, huh? I just want to go home. Glickman tried stopping him, but to no avail. Rosenthal ran back to the chapel. What? Why would he be running back into, like, what is going on here? And remember, these guys are all like 70 years old and shit. The youngest people killed were the two retarded brothers. Parents had just died, and they had just, like, within a short period of time, become a ward of the state. They became the state's problem. And the average age of the people shot was down to like 67 or something like that. But it was only because the younger brother was 59 and the older brother was like 61 or 62, which brought the average down. You know, 2 out of 11 will bring the average down. If it weren't for those two, everyone that died is someone that if I told you they had been on life support at the hospital and they decided to pull the plug because they had just gotten too old, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that's believable. Every single person was 70 plus. You know, because this guy who's out to do maximum terror to this community on a Sunday is only going to shoot really, really old people. The other three parted ways, with Myers hiding in the bathroom and Glickman and Charney hiding in a clothing donation room. When Bowers was about to go to the basement leading to New Light's service, he encountered David Rosenthal and Joyce Feinberg on the stairs leading to the lower mezzanine. Both of them had accidentally run into Bowers as they were trying to escape. He shot both of them to death. Why do they keep saying that? And how does anybody know this? This sounds like a fucking narrative. This sounds like somebody really, really trying hard to put forth, you know, you believe me, right? You believe us, right? At 9:55, Melvin Wax, the leader of New Light Services, hid in a pitch black closet in the storage hall of the basement, along with 3 other people, including Rabbi Jonathan Perlman, who led the congregants to the closet. Around the same time, 2 other members of New Light, Richard Gottfried and Daniel Stein, hid in the basement kitchen. I mean, we're talking about like, what, 10 people maybe that have been mentioned? 3 different congregations were holding services again on a Sunday. And it sounds like there weren't very many people there. You know, they're hiding in closets and shit. Made their way hidden the around the same time, the 2 other members of New Light, Richard Godfrey and Daniel Steen, hid in the basement kitchen. Gottfried made a 911 call at 9:55, which lasted until 9:56. When Bowers reached the basement, he approached the kitchen. Like, seriously, you see what I mean? Like, who is coming up with all this alliteration for this? When he got down, he reached the basement. He checked his watch. He combed his hair. When Bowers reached the basement, he approached the kitchen. In the kitchen, he fired at both Gottfried and Steen through the kitchen island, killing them both. Okay, so right there. If they're the ones that are dead, how do we know what their narrative was? There were these 2 couples that got interviewed. It was 2 really old people, but they were getting interviewed. And they said they only survived because they had showed up late. And by the time they got there, everything was already going on. And they were like, what's going on? And you can see them being interviewed. And they're like laughing and joking about shit. And you just think like, you guys don't, it's not believable. Because it's in the script, says Karen. I mean, this is one of these opportunities where, you know, what can I do to manipulate this? Right? I'm literally just reading you what they want us to know. That's why I use Wikipedia. Because I know it's what they want us to know. Quick break. Just for the proof. This is Naftali Bennett, former Israeli Prime Minister from 2021, June 21 to June of 2022, part of the 6 prime ministers that Israel had from 19 to 22, and in just under 4 years, they had 6 prime ministers. Just before they finally put Netanyahu in charge, and Netanyahu's in a way where I don't think he can be removed. I know they're talking about it, but I don't think he can be removed. But this is Naftali Bennett in 2010, just after the original Gaza flotilla, not the Greta Thunberg one, but the Gaza flotilla that actually birthed Ken O'Keefe. Ken O'Keefe was on one of the ships in the flotilla. Israel did what they do at like 3 a.m. They decided to attack the ship and try to take it over. Ken O'Keefe, being the badass that he is, allegedly fought back. And because of that, 9 of the 11 people on board were killed. 6 were later identified to be killed execution style, on their knees, gun to their head kind of shit. Israel, when they went to court over it, they were found not guilty because they were only defending themselves. If the people would have just let Israel illegally pirate their ship, then they wouldn't have had to fight back. They say that 1 Israeli was killed, but who knows? You never can buy that shit. But Naftali Bennett, the reason I know that is because Naphtali Bennett uses it as his example in this here story I'm about to show you, where he, high-ranking Israeli, is talking to the IsraelNationalNews.com.
In conjunction with My Israel, has arranged a discussion day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how
them.
to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
Okay, so we know that anything we read on Wikipedia might not be 100% true, but it is the 100% truth that Israel wants us to know. It is balanced and Zionist in nature. And when you listen to every time he says you can tell he's like trying to pick the right word. And so when he's like, we were here to teach, not to demand, not to insist that the Wikipedia editors, the #1 source, they were already the #1 source of information in the world. They needed Israel to come show them how to do their job, right? But the #1 source of it's balanced, and then at the end he goes, and balanced, and he thinks, do I say, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Balanced and Zionist. He doesn't go with balanced and fair to Israel, paints Israel fairly, puts Israel in a fair light. Balanced and Zionist in nature. That's huge. So when I'm reading you this, understand that we're reading the Israel perspective. This, especially shit like this, isn't because some goy put it in here. There's a Glasgowian woman, Margaret. They shot her son in the back, allegedly, as I wasn't there, of course. She's a beautiful and determined lady, very active. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry for her and her son. This shit sucks. I mean, shit sucks. Let's see, where were we? Where was we? 956, Kitchen Island. Killing. In an interview with a psychologist after the shooting, Bowers referred back to that moment and remarked how ironic it was that he killed both men in front of the ovens of the kitchen. Yeah? That's what he was thinking at the time. This is what he remarked in the trial interview, all of which nobody can see. Right? Because that's how that works. Nobody has any sort of access to any of this shit. Supposedly, like, there's no footage. There's no footage of the shooting. There's no footage of the arrest. There's no footage of them taking him to the hospital where he continued to spew out anti-Semitic, blah, blah, blah. None of that. There's no footage of taking him then to the jail, taking him to court, in and outside of court. No footage of that. No footage afterwards. No interviews. No nothing. Nobody can talk to Robert Bowers Jr. Nobody wants to. Apparently, we still talk about Charlie Manson like he matters. People still talk about Jack the fucking Ripper. Jack the Ripper killed like 3 people in 1880, 90 something, I don't remember. In England. This doesn't even fucking matter, Jack the Ripper. And yet, the guy that supposedly did the deadliest attack on friars in American history. Nah, we don't want to talk to him. We don't want to know what the hell was going on. We don't want to, hear anything he has to say, understand his point of view, understand his mental state. Nothing like that. None of that's interesting. Right? You guys wouldn't hear what that shit is? They can't get someone to play the part. Huh? She doesn't want coffee. Bowers went back to the main sermon room of the basement and approached the storage hallway. Still unaware of what was happening, despite Perlman begging him not to do it, Wax opened the door of the closet and Bowers immediately shot him twice at point-blank range. Oh, is Bowers the one that's told everything that's happened? Is that where this whole narrative is coming from? Is exactly a alleged serial killer, as he is even uncounted bodies. Sure. Yeah. Jack the Ripper is somebody from the 18s. If you believe anything they tell you about somebody from the 18s, you're just foolish. This dude was nothing. It's just a fucking school tale. I know when I was a kid, I thought Jack the Ripper was akin to like Jason and Freddy and shit. We do the thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to be Jason. Okay, well, I'm Freddy. Well, I'm going to be Jack the Ripper. Oh, shit, I forgot about that. And Jack the Ripper was the badass. We didn't know anything about it. We just thought Jack the Ripper was the shit. The latter did not notice the other 3 congregants who remained in the closet. What? Like, this story is just bullshit. So the other, they don't know what's happening. They're hiding, but they don't know what's happening. So they decide to come out instead of waiting for the police. And then he doesn't notice there are 3 other people in the closet. What was this closet? Where were they hiding? Why, if you're trying to commit terror, would you not be, looking? Did not notice the other 3 who remained. Just after Bowers shot Wax, one of the congregants called 911 at 9:58. At 9:58, Bowers left the basement and headed back upstairs to go to his car. Just as he reached the entrance doors, he encountered 2 police officers at the other side. Bowers immediately opened fire, hitting one of the officers in the hand and injuring the other with shrapnel to the hand at 9:58 and 52 seconds a.m. Are you fucking kidding me? I have never heard shrapnel affecting anyone else, like unless it's grenades, but bullet attacks and people getting hurt with shrapnel is only associated with them. I've never heard anyone else talk about injuries and shit that came from shrapnel from a shooting. I want to throw some and get some good. Yep. I'm not just want to throw some info, get some feedback. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. At 9:58 with 52 seconds. They know this to a T. How? Are they going to try to say there's video cameras? There's no body cam. There's no footage of any of this that exists. Bowers ran back into the mezzanine and went upstairs to target the worshipers at the Pervin Chapel again. He began firing shots at them at 10:01 and 18 seconds a.m. What? This makes no sense. As Bowers re-entered the Pervin Chapel, he approached Andrea Wedner and her mother, Rose Mallinger. Okay. Wedner was on the phone with police as Bowers returned to the chapel. Bowers shot both women, killing Mallinger and wounding Wedner with a shot to her right arm. The officer, who was injured in the head, walked along the synagogue and was able to see Bowers again through the lobby. the officer who was injured in the head. Who was injured in the head? Are we saying, did I misread it and the shrapnel hit his head, not his hand? Where was that? No, it says hand and oh, it was. No, okay, so he did. He injured, hitting one of them in the hand and injuring the other with shrapnel to the head. So the one that had shrapnel in his head from what? What made shrapnel come out? Yeah, well, this is bullet fire shrapnel, Nicholas. I must say I've seen a shrapnel injury or two. Yeah? From what? What caused the shrapnel? What a weird word. The officer who was injured in the head walked along the synagogue and was able to see Bowers again through the lobby window. Seeing Bowers at the doorway of the Pervin Chapel, he fired 5 times through the window at Bowers. Bowers fired back at the officer at 10:01 and 35 seconds. Neither of them hit each other during the brief firefight. Isn't this guy a police officer? Oh, wait, he was injured to the head from the shrapnel. Bowers approached the Simons again. During that moment, Bernice was still calling 911 while hugging her now deceased husband. Bowers shot Bernice to death and shot Sylvan again. This is the dumbest story I've ever heard. When the shooting began, 12 worshipers had gathered for the Shabbat service in the Pervin Chapel. Rabbi Myers helped 3 of them evacuate the chapel safely. 4 of the worshipers left the chapel by themselves, only to be killed by Bowers outside. Sounds like this guy was everywhere, on all 3 floors and outside all at the same time. I mean, look at these timestamps. Bowers fired back at the officer at 10:01 and 35 seconds. The death of Bernice was recorded at 10:01 and 48 seconds. So 13 seconds later, after he's fight the exchange with the cop, and then turning and finding these other 2 people, that all took place in 13 seconds? This is the problem with giving too much fake detail. Is at some point you screw up. Remember, he first started firing at the police at 10:01 and 18 seconds. So he shot at the police, re-entered the chapel, approached Andrea and her mother. He killed the older one, the mother, wounded the other one, then went somewhere that from 18 to 35. So 23 seconds. 23 seconds it took him to shoot at the cops, figure out what he was doing, book it. He re-entered the Pervin Chapel. I mean, the chapel was upstairs, right? Shot those 2. Then got into the firefight with the officer where the officer shot 5 times. And Bowers fired back. Then he turned and found the other person in the chapel. Killed the other girl, the woman who was with her dead husband, and shot somebody else again. All that took place in 30 seconds. From 10:01, 18 seconds to 10:01 and 48 seconds. It takes almost 30 seconds to say it. You guys seeing this shit? Or hearing this shit? Does this make sense? Like, think about what you're being told. This totally reminds me of San Bernardino, right? Because once the culmination happens, once you get it's later on, the police are staking out their house for some reason. They're not going into the house and getting them, and they're waiting for them to leave because apparently they know they're going to leave. They leave. They drive to the freeway. The police are after them. They start throwing fake pipe bombs out the car and shooting back the police. They get on the freeway. They drive down the freeway to the next exit, or maybe the following exit, not really sure. One of the next exits. They get off. They drive down the road. They make a turn. They go to another. They stop at a light. They put on all their body armor and stuff. Then they go down to another light. They make a turn into a neighborhood, drive into the neighborhood, and then stop the car. And when they stop, after a minute or so, well, not after a minute, another cop, one of the cop cars, like again, they were stopped at the light putting on their body armor. There was no cops doing anything. But when they stopped their car the second time, cops got out. They got shot. Eventually, more cops showed up. The shootout took place where the female handcuffed herself behind her own back and got in the back of the vehicle, in the trunk of the vehicle, and then got shot a bunch of times. And the male also handcuffed himself behind his back and then got into a shootout. But they said, whatever. This all took place in, I think it's less than a minute. It's either like a minute 10 or less than a minute. Let's see. So what we're talking about took 30 seconds. Now we're at, when the shooting began, 12 worshipers had gathered for the Shabbat service in the Pervin Chapel. Rabbi Mayers helped 3 of them to evacuate the chapel. 4 of them were killed. 4 of them worshipers left the chapel by themselves, only to be killed by Bowers outside. So now he's outside, while 4 other worshipers remained in the chapel, only to be shot. Okay. Out of the 12 worshipers, Bowers shot 8 of them, killing 7 and wounding 1. The 13th worshiper only arrived late while the police were responding to the shooting. Police sources said Bowers shouted at some point during the attack, "All friars must die," because that's what he was doing. It's insulting to the basic brain is what it is. It is. It's fucking stupid. About a half hour later, tactical teams entered the building. They searched the rooms of the synagogue looking for the shooter. Eventually, at 10:53, several officers entered a classroom on the top floor of the synagogue. Bowers opened fire with his rifle and Glock 31 and shot 2 SWAT members. At the same time, SWAT team fired shots at Bowers in the dark classroom. 2 minutes later, officers engaged in another firefight with Bowers, who was using his Glock handgun because he had no ammunition left in the rifle. Yeah, somebody thought to maybe account for that, huh? He had wounded 2 officers and 2 SWAT members, one of them critically. Dun, dun, dun. At 11:08, Bowers crawled out of the room and surrendered, having been shot multiple times. As he received medical care in the police custody, he allegedly told SWAT officers that he wanted friars to die and that friars were committing genocide against his people. He was searched for weapons, and police recovered 2 unused loaded Glock handguns that were recovered from a waist holster and ankle holster. and 3 round 357 magazines. So why didn't he fucking what? If he had two pistols, why wasn't he using both pistols? He had 3 actually. It would be the 13th, right? Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's so funny. The 13th, right? They had to bring in the 13th. But more importantly, the 12 people, the 12 tribes, the 12's the big number there. He was also questioned about leaving a clock in the hallway, in which Bowers told them that the object was a screaming meanie trucker alarm. He left a clock in the hallway? What? Bowers just discharged his rifle 75 times and discharged the Glock 17 times during the shooting. Victims. Oh, here we go. 11 people were killed, including 4 on ground level, 4 in the Pervin Chapel, and 3 in the synagogue's basement. All of the victims were killed with a Colt rifle. Among the dead were 2 brothers and a married couple. Those killed. All right. Joyce Feinberg, 75, a retired University of Pittsburgh research specialist. Richard Gottfried, 65, a dentist. Rose Mallinger, 97, an active congregant on the synagogue for more than 60 years. Jerry Rabinowitz, 65, a family physician. Cecil, 59, and David Rosenthal, 54, brothers who lived together at a community home for people with disabilities. Remember? You remember? So it's 54 and 59. Bernice, 84, and Sylvan Simon, 86, a retired couple who celebrated their wedding at Tree of Life in 1956. Daniel Steen, 71, a retired salesman and substitute school teacher. Melvin Wax, 87, a retired accountant who was leading services at the time of the shooting. And Irving Younger, 69, a retired real estate company owner who served as a greeter in the synagogue. So if you take out the 59 and 60 and 54-year-old, you have 2 people that are 65, 1 person that's 69, then you have 71, 87, 86, 84, 97, and 75. Get the fuck out of here. Like this guy is trying to commit the crime of the century, so he focuses on people that were going to die tomorrow. 75 plus 65 plus 65 plus 97 plus 65, 65, 97, 75, 71, 87, 69. 75, 71, 97, 80, what was it? Oh, 87, 86, and 84. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. Yeah. Thought it said 11 people. So that's an average age of 80.2 years. Now add plus 54 plus 59 divided by 12. Wait. So now you have 915 divided by 12. brings it down to a whopping 76. It's still 70s. The average age of the person killed in this ultra-terrorist attack is 76 years old. Again, take out the two with the mental problems that recently became wards of the state when their parents just died. And you have an average age of 80.2 years old. Just that doesn't make any sense. Now, if you're going to orchestrate something, say there just happened to be a car crash with 3 elderly people, the couple and, the elderly couple and, 2 of their friends or one of their friends was in a car, whatever. And you have all of these people. You have 4 people that die in some sort of car crash or something. You also happen to have, one of the people has a heart attack. So now you have 8 people. You don't think they have 8 people around the country, around that region of the country that are on life support? That are barely, that they're waiting to pull the plug? And they could say to them, hey, can we pull the plug and make a martyr out of your relative? They'll be martyred in our community. We will know that they sacrificed. They're martyred. They'll be remembered for all of history. Nobody would know their names without it. Can we use your relative who's gonna die anyway here soon? Of course, it's for the benefit of our people. Of course they're going to say yes. Right? Of course they're going to say yes. Why wouldn't they say yes? We're going to make martyrs out of your family and we'll give you $1 million. Who knows? 2 million, 5 million, whatever it may be. You don't think that they could orchestrate something like this? When you look at the fact that the shit happened on Sunday, half of the people were buried the next day. The other half were buried the Tuesday afterward to get them in the ground before the 72-hour thing was up. And if you say that a couple of people died, one person had a heart attack Friday night. Car accident happened on Saturday. Another person had a heart attack on Saturday night. Now you have even less people. Now we got to go pull the plug on these 5. They were already ready. They already had them scheduled for this. They were just waiting for the right time. And it just happened to work out that there was the car accident. Yes, in Philadelphia, 2018. The timing of it all just... There's a big old shootout. All these people are killed. All this shit happens, and then it takes a half hour for them to breach? This story doesn't make any sense the way that they say it. 7 others were injured in the incident, with 4 requiring surgery. Among the injured were 3 congregants and 4 police officers, 2 patrol officers and 2 SWAT officers, 3 by ricocheted gunfire, and a 4th by glass fragments. See what I mean? They're just making up these injuries. How can we say people got injured? Okay, we'll say this or we'll say that. The perpetrator. Ooh, let's get the breakdown on the perpetrator. The perp. That's how us cool guys. By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub. It helps, I guess. That's what they say. I mean, I have 6 viewers and 6 likes, so it must not help that much. Robert Bowers Jr., born September 4th, 1972, a resident of Baldwin, Pennsylvania, was arrested as the shooter. Bowers' parents divorced when he was about 1 year old. When Bowers was 7 years old, his father, Randall G. Bowers of the Pittsburgh neighborhood of Garfield, died by suicide. On October 15, 1979, at the age of 26, in Tionesta, Pennsylvania, while he was awaiting trial on a rape charge in connection with an April 27, 1979 rape of a 20-year-old woman in Square Hill. Dun, dun, dun! Here we go! I mean, it's been, what, 6 years? They've had time to craft a narrative. I do know that they didn't have this much on him before. Bowers attended Baldwin High School in the Baldwin Whitehall School District from August 1986 to November 1989. He dropped out of high school before graduation and worked as a trucker for 13 years until 2002. Neighbors described Bowers as a ghost who rarely interacted with others. He never did. He never interacted with others. His rent was paid in an envelope with cash in it. His landlord, he lived in a transient type hotel, again, because he was truckers, in like a transient apartment. And his rent was always paid in a brown paper bag, cash. Nobody ever saw him. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that convenient? Like if you were coming up with a narrative, just like what always seems to happen. Look at Matthew Crooks, whatever. Trump shooter. Nothing. No, nothing. Apply that to your Ian Carroll. You know, Ian Carroll appears on social media in March of 2023 and has zero social media footprint prior to that. He was like 26, 27 when in 2023. Ian Carroll, he's one of the biggest truthers in the world right now. He's providing us Goyim with a free service called Web that you can put on your phone, and it will allow you to search things. It's like a search engine without the restrictions of Google. So just download this tech to your phone. It's safe, he promises. That people aren't, he's got a school teacher sort of mentality, perspective, a presentation. Got his mustache. He's got a big smile. He's very good at what he does. He just appears, March 2023. No background, nothing. There's no pictures, no videos, no Facebooks, no MySpaces, no nothing. Instagram, snaps, none of it. You know Ian Carroll. You've seen him way too many times, Karen.
If you can prove God. The only way they're smarter than us is how they unify.
Here, yep.
We
He's
always
made it.
say our economy sucks, but no
What else is it?
Do you secretly want to
Like, do you think I don't want Ian Carroll to be that guy?
Is your salvation
But to me, I can't help but go, why is he allowed what I'm not? I have 6 viewers and 7 likes. I have 2,500 plus subscribers, which I know isn't shit. But it's because it got shut down. I was kicking ass. Back when I had 1,000 subscribers, I averaged thousands of views each day. 8, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 views as I was getting to 2,500 subscribers. Got to 2,500 and it was like I hit some sort of wall. You would think if you get to a certain point, you would just keep climbing. The hardest part is to get going. You would think. But he was on, he appears in March of 2023 and he's on Rogan. Grok said 21 months, but I don't think so. I think it was sooner than that.
Who's daddy's favorite? As kids, we feel our parts live our parents' dreams. And when they lose their minds and scream in a way we wish we could at a television screen where program.
If you could look it up, that'd be great. Look up when Ian Carroll was on Joe Rogan.
It's almost like you should win at war, not keep your cool.
According to accounts which were given by Bauer's co-workers and analysis of his recent social media posts, his conservatism became radicalized as white nationalism at one point in the late 90s. Bowers was fascinated by the right-wing radio host Jim Quinn. At a later time, he became a follower of aggressive online provocateurs of the right-wing's fringe. He was deeply involved in posting comments on social media websites such as Gab. I'd never heard of Gab until this. And you guys tell me I should try all sorts of different shit because of the censorship. And he also promoted anti-Semitic conspiracy theories on them. Bowers routinely discussed a conspiracy theory that friars were assisting evil Muslims to take over the United States. I mean, there's something to that, but, that kind of sounds like what Karen thinks is happening and Charles thinks is happening in the UK. The Muslims are taking over. It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy how the religious shit is being used against us so well, It really is working well right now. You would think it's 2026, man. People still wouldn't be so easily influenced and so easily manipulated by bullshit. And yet, we still are. Proudly. Foolish. I literally had some dumbass come in here the other day. I didn't realize just how bad Islam was. I really didn't. It's kind of embarrassing. And the thing is, the reason why I didn't is because I've never bothered with Islam. It doesn't matter to me at all. Islam is such a nothing to me at this point. I'm in the United States, man. The things that are affecting me have nothing to do with Islam. Oh, they showed. Sweet. Nothing to do with Islam. Islam is just the vehicle for their just a vehicle for their infiltration. They give us the boogeyman so we don't find them the boogeyman. If you look at everything that you supposedly hate about Islam, they all do it, but worse. They do everything that Wahhabi awful Islam does, but worse. Now they're more, they're better about it, with the women's rights to a degree, but if you go to the Hasidic neighborhoods, you'll see, Over here, we use the phrase kosher to describe something being kushti. Go before anyone thinks I'm being derogative. I don't know. Maybe you might have said something else, but there's no comment of you saying anything kosher here. I don't know. That's the first comment that you've made in a long time from my perspective. But over here, kosher means the same thing. Like, oh, it's all kosher, man. That's good. Like, people say that shit all the time. And we just have no idea what we're fucking talking about. We're so stupid. My God, are we stupid? Come on, brother, sister Goyim. You know, you might not like me or anything like that, but you don't realize that you and I, are closer than you and they are. Right? They don't see you as an equal. I do. I see you as an equal. I see you as dumb, but I see you as an equal. They see you as cattle, as a servant. And I don't care how nice they are to your face. I don't care what they say. Oh, no, that's not the case. Yes, they fucking do. Just because somebody says that I don't think that way, or, you know, just because they say that to your face doesn't mean it's true. They might just not want confrontation, so they keep their mouth shut. I've done nothing but comment. That's not good. Yeah, the last comment I see of yours is, oh, I know, but who he, alive since 23.
It's not as much fun to pick up the pieces. Take me with you. It's not as much fun to pick up the pieces. Take me with you. Take me with you. TBG.
Deleting my comments again, I imagine. What the actual fuck? Yeah, well.
Grateful.
How could you still be surprised by it, Karen? Come on. You've been dealing with this for how many years now?
Remix, mix, 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 mix. The way we see it, if they're gonna keep using the same hook to draw you into their nonsense, why can't we? Weinstein didn't kill himself. No, Weinstein didn't kill himself. I might be thinking someone else, but Weinstein's gonna kill himself.
I was wrong. I was wrong. I made a song and I was wrong about it. That'd have been funny if he did. Nah, Weinstein just disappeared. That story's just gone. Look at this. I have 2 people, Karen. 2 and 7. Anyway, let's keep going. In the weeks before the shooting, Bowers made anti-Semitic posts directed at high-ass sponsored National Refugee Shabbat of October 19th through the 20th, in which Dor Hadash participated. He claimed friars were adding members of Central American caravans aiding members of Central American caravans moving towards the United States border and referring to those migrants as invaders. Yeah, but that's what Trump tells us all the time. And that's what was happening at the time. Do you guys remember that we were supposedly being invaded from the south? They would show us the border. They would say, the borders are so bad. And then they'd show you and nothing would be happening. But they would, they would show the migrants all walking. These people are said to have walked 1,000+ miles in a couple of days. Nobody bothers to ask what they're eating, where they're sleeping, how they're walking. It's summertime. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, no, it's not summer, but it's still warm as shit because it doesn't matter if it's summer. It's warm as shit. They're close to the equator. Shortly before the attack, he posted on Gab that high ass likes to bring invaders in that kill our people. I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics. I'm going in. What? They just kicked you out. Well, I have one viewer, so. On the morning of the massacre, at 8:57 a.m., Bowers booted up his custom Linux-based computer. He set up several commands to start a process that would wipe the data of his 6 hard drives after a 200-minute countdown. The process involved using a BLK discard command on one of his hard drives before shredding the first 8 gigabytes of the other 5 other hard drives. That's amazing. He must be awesome, huh?
The Weinstein prison has visions of grandeur, but with it comes cancer. And answer me this, if fame is a gift...
By the time the FBI raided his home, the 200-minute countdown was already over, and 2 terabytes of data from his computer were permanently lost. Before the shooting, Bowers also wiped most of the data on his cell phone, which the FBI could not recover. Gee, that's weird. Almost like he doesn't exist. What a convenient way to clean it all up. All right? Oh, he knew he had some ultra spy tech stuff. I wouldn't even think about that. I wouldn't even know what to do. I've never even heard of anything like that. Criminal charges and proceedings. Bowers was charged by the U.S. Department of Justice with 29 federal crimes. Bowers appeared in federal court in Pittsburgh on October 29th, 2018. When did this take place? Yeah, October 27th this took place. So he was in court 2 days later. And was ordered held without bail pending trial. 2 days later, 2 days after that, Bowers was indicted on 44 counts by a federal grand jury. The charges carry a maximum penalty of death or 535 years in federal prison. What a joke. The counts included hate crimes, 11 counts of obstruction of exercise of religious beliefs resulting in death, 11 counts of use of a firearm to commit murder during a crime of violence, 4 counts of obstruction of exercise of religious beliefs resulting in bodily injury to a public safety officer, and 3 counts of use and discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. On November 1st, 2018, Bowers entered a plea of not guilty. On January 29, 2019, the grand jury indicted Bowers on an additional 19 counts, 13 of which were for hate crimes. On February 11, 2019, Bowers was arraigned in federal court. Bowers' defense team includes 2 public defenders plus well-known criminal justice attorney Judy Clark, a death penalty expert who was appointed by the court as counsel for the defendant. The defendant offered a plea deal in which Bowers would plead guilty in exchange for a sentence of life imprisonment without parole. Federal prosecutors declined, seeking the death penalty instead. Bowerman like Bowman, yeah. Just like Vice President J.D. Vance. One of his identities was a Bowman. Interesting how that works, don't you think? A trial date was not set until various pretrial motions were resolved. In April 2020, Senior U.S. District Judge Donetta Donetta Ambrose denied a defense challenge to the federal death penalty. In October 2020, Judge Ambrose denied a defense motion to dismiss charges brought under the Hate Crimes Prevention Act and Church Arson Prevention Act. Dylan Roof got away with it, didn't he? Or Root. In November 2021, the defense declined that it would not pursue an insanity defense or intellectual disability defense. I mean, Naomi Elkins got it after fucking 90-minute trial. 11 hours of interview with one psychiatrist, and she's good to go. Makes sense, doesn't it? Thank you. In January 2022, after holding an earlier evidentiary hearing, Judge Ambrose denied Bauer's motion to suppress evidence of statements he made after being arrested by police inside an ambulance and at the hospital the day of the attack. Right, all of which we don't ever see. After Judge Ambrose retired in February 2022, the case was randomly assigned to U.S. District Judge Robert J. Colville. In March 2022, Colville denied Bauer's motions for a change of venue. In September 2022, Judge Colville set the trial to begin in April 2023, rejecting a bid by the defense to delay the trial until December of 2023. In March 2023, members of the jury pool began completing questionnaires. The jury selection process began on April 24th with 12 jurors and 6 alternates being selected. The trial began May 30th, 2023. Prosecutors called 60 witnesses, and while the defense did not call any witnesses. The witnesses who testified included survivors of the attack, including congregants and Rabbi Jeffrey Myers. Evidence presented to the jury included recordings of 911 calls as the attacks unfolded, including from some of the people killed, and testimony from police officers who ultimately subdued the gunman, from expert witnesses on medicine, guns, and computers, from the FBI agents and police detectives who investigated the case, from a paramedic who responded to the scene, a paramedic, and from the director of the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office. So everybody is part of the narrative. And you have one first responder. Why would there be one medical responder? That just sounds crazy. Murdy, she wrote. Less than 24, right. Okay. Do. How do you do it? Do. And then it. Let's see. Photographs were also introduced as evidence, including photos of exhaustively documented blood stains, bullet fragments, and shell casings, and body-worn camera footage was also shown to the jury. Oh, that's just, I clicked on it. It's blue, so I was like, oh shit, are they going to give me, no. They're just telling me what police body-worn cameras are. I had no idea. Bauer's anti-Semitic social media posts were also introduced as evidence. After 11 days of testimony, prosecutors told the jury in closing argument that Bauer's made cold, calculated, deliberate choices in the shooting. Bauer's defense counsel conceded that he had fatally shot all the victims, but argued that there was doubt as to his specific intent. Why did he do what he did, and why what he thought he would accomplish by doing so. That's insane. It's just so stupid. I'd be like, how did all that happen in a 30-second time period? $30 seconds is so short. Like, it's weird because you think like 30 seconds is a long time in a chaotic situation mentally. But, like, to do something, if I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm going to go check the mail and come back, that's going to take me at least a minute. It's just, you don't realize how quickly time passes. On June 16th, 2023, 50-year-old Bowers was found guilty on all 63 federal charges, including 11 counts of obstructing the free exercise of religious beliefs resulting in death. The jury rendered its verdict after 5 hours of deliberation over 2 days. The sentencing phase began on June 16, 2023, with the jury hearing arguments to decide if Bowers should be sentenced to death or life without parole. Bowers' defense lawyer sought to persuade the jury that Bowers had significant brain damage and was influenced by mental illness or delusions. Why would he want to live forever in prison? Yeah, just go ahead and kill me, please. It's not like he has family or anything. Like, no brothers, no sisters, mother, father dead. No friends. Nobody. Nobody knew this dude even existed. He was, Judas Priest, except, he didn't blow off the front of his face. He missed with a shotgun. By contrast, prosecutors emphasized evidence showing that Bowers had extensively planned his attack and was motivated by anti-Semitism, as shown in his numerous rants on social media and statements to police after the attack. Yeah, but isn't that a psychosis? A pathological disorder and an irrational phobia? Doesn't that, if he doesn't accept the supremacy, see how this works? Wow, that's interesting. When it comes to us and our shit and looking at things like that don't make us look the worst, well then no, you can't do that, right? You can't say that you have this mental illness, this psychosis. Like, I wonder if his defense attorney brought up auto emancipation. You know what? I'm going to be done here in a minute. Done, fuck it. Oh, man, this is about to get crazy. Watch this. 3 University of Pittsburgh Medical Center physicians, 2 radiologists, and a neurologist testified about the review of brain imaging tests in EEG, PET, and MRI of Bowers in 2021 and 2022. They found the test to be largely normal. 2 defense experts, by contrast, testified that they believe Bowers had significant brain damage that could be correlated with, what do you think they chose? What fucking illness do you think they fucking chose? It's like I wrote this. Psychosis. It is a psychosis. Right? According to Auto Emancipation, the founding document of modern Zionism, or modern friar nationalism, especially Zionism, anti-Semitic attacks are akin to a psychosis, a pathological disorder, and an irrational phobia. Wow, that was crazy. No. Don't you know he loco? Yeah, but what specific one? What specific sort of crazy do they say he has? Come on. I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. Come on, Karen. I know you're going to get this. He has to be one thing and one thing only. Schizophrenia! How did you know that? Oh my God! Oh my God, that is so crazy. Out of everything you could have picked in the whole wide world. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's Palestine? I don't know where the hell Palestine is. Oh my God.
Polly,
Oh my God.
Andrew, Senator
That doesn't
Kennedy,
even, Palestine
and
doesn't
most
exist.
importantly,
It's Judea
thank you
and Samaria.
everyone who shared their story. You
Schizophrenia. He is a schizophrenic.
So, I don't
Seriously.
call it autism. I say it's something
It
else.
shouldn't be this
Like
easy
seeing
for
light
me.
pass through a prism, the picture painted shows our health is much more than the wealth allow the
I mean, do you guys
goy.
not?
And
It shouldn't be this
goy are
easy.
forcibly dealt corrupts biology. And
It's not like
the
I'm looking up
for
crazy
free.
shit, you
Like
know.
I said in part one.
Oh, this is the Guy Williams conspiracy. It's not like I'm on Gab.
Now I'm done. Since
It's not like I'm using Gab OV.
with the notion we've been
Interestingly, too, don't you think it's strange that none of the typical friars are here?
is how we fell into the loop. But also, there's a
Where's bitch-ass Rich Joe?
and the sheep like to believe it. But
Where are all the fake rabbi characters? Where's Patty?
really been impeded to the point we lack aggression and
Trying to remember
why are
more.
Goyim stressing, demanding better answers to the fact we are
Where are all the fucking crybabies at today?
AIDS or cancer. But we finally have our chance for a chance to
Hey! Hey! Hey, fat girl! Hey, fat girl! Here!
It's not your fault you've been assaulted. You were taught to be this way. In this cult, smart, exalted, starring in this faulty play.
It fall down! Big time booted from the first team. No, he was here yesterday. He's been here the last couple days. He's been trying to bribe me for $50,000 to supposedly meet him somewhere. And he's going to take me out to dinner and show me that I'm wrong about everything I'm saying. He can't tell me what I'm wrong about, but he wants me to meet him somewhere. Fly out to Tel Aviv with him. I'm going to just fly on a plane to Tel Aviv. Where I don't even have the illusion of rights. And I'm so unknown, it won't matter. What's Karen going to get upset? Matt? Speaking of Matt, where's Matt? It's not your fault you've been assaulted. You were beat it. What? Alright, so let's see. Schizophrenia that could affect behavior. A separate defense expert, a University of North Texas forensic psychologist, testified on his opinions from 20 hours of examination of Bowers over 4 days in 2022. He testified that Bowers was, quote, proud of his attack, showed no remorse for the shooting, and thought that he deserved medals and a parade. Sounds pretty crazy to me. The psychologist opined that Bowers was blatantly psychotic and has schizophrenia, but agreed on cross-examinations that he was goal-oriented and planned the attack as much as 6 months in advance. Yeah, where is Matt? I don't know. I know he's hysterical. I'm a laugh at, not with sort of way. Or in a Lafayette. Yes, you are correct. Crazy, competent rampager. Yeah, fucking rampages. Separately, a neurologist who examined Bowers in 2021 testified as a defense expert, opinining that Bowers had schizophrenia and epilepsy. Schizophrenia! On cross-examination, the defense neurologist acknowledged that Bowers was not incapable of plotting the shootings, but testified that his reasons for planning it out are unreliable in his brain. The defense presented evidence of Bowers' lengthy history of serious mental illness, including multiple suicide attempts since his teenage years, an incident in which he threw flammable liquid on his mother and tried to ignite it at age 13, and 3 instances of involuntary commitment, the latest in 2004. Gee, that is strange.
But I fall through the cracks while I try redefining all of it.
So now we have a guy who is associated with the mental health system. And that's basically it. Nobody else really knows anything about the guy. He's been a ghost, as they say.
Those calling you Goyim are those who send you into battle.
At the request of the defense, the sentencing phase was split into 2 parts, each with its own opening statements, closing arguments, and jury decision. Well, who's paying for this? Like, I would imagine if it's a high-paying case, then it would, behoove them. But you actually have everybody in this situation being paid by us. It's the city bringing the case against, or the state bringing the case against Robert Bowers. And he had 2 public defenders, it said, right? 2 public defenders that were on this high-profile case for years, writing whatever fucking hours they want. Oh, yeah, we put in 12 hours into this one today. Yeah, why not? Who's auditing it? Who's monitoring all this? Who's making sure it's all on the up and up? The other people being paid by the same system? Think about what the fuck I'm saying right now. My God, it's like blowing my mind. Saying these things out loud, it's like, I can hear myself saying it, like, holy fucking shit. Number 1, whether Bowers was eligible to be sentenced to death, and 2, the selection of the sentence. On July 13, 2023, after 2 hours of deliberation, the jury found that Bowers was eligible for a death sentence. So this guy is multiple testimonies confirm that he has a mental fucking illness.
You should send us money. We can call it a donation. Not trains will be fun.
Seriously, he's said to be schizophrenic. He has schizophrenia, which means he's hearing voices and all that shit. And in a lengthy history of mental illness, voluntary, he volunteered himself to be committed, and has this insane sort of background, and that's not enough. But Naomi Elkins kills her 2 children because she believes that will rid the earth of all evil. I mean, the Naomi Elkins story should really, like, if I'm a defense, if I'm in defense of someone, that's going to be the number 1 story I would bring up from now on. You let this crazy bitch go. She willingly killed her 2 children. She killed her 1-year-old child, drowned the child in the bathtub, stabbed it in the stomach, and then drowned it in the bathtub. Her older 3-year-old child saw what was happening tried to get away, hid in a room where she went and got her, or hid in, maybe she hid in another bath. I don't remember what she actually. She hid from her mother. Her mother found her, put her in the bathtub, and, put her knees on her chest and filled the bathtub. She held her daughter down while the tub filled up around her, and eventually she drowned. When the cops showed up, the place was surrounded by friars who all looked guilty as fuck. And it just so happens that the children, well, the oldest child was of age, 3 years, 1 day old. The younger child just might have been a casualty. But, of course, there's no investigation into it. She admitted to doing it to rid the world of evil. Nobody thought to think, like, what do you mean? Where'd you get that from? What was your community doing there? Why was everyone there? Why did everyone look guilty? She killed her own 2 children after a 90-minute trial, and based on the testimony of one psychiatrist who met with her for 11 hours, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity, or guilty but insane, whatever. However it works, she was committed to 2 75-year sentences in a mental health facility. The thing is, as soon as she's deemed no longer a danger to herself or society, she can be let go. This is fucking nuts, guys. This is fucking nuts that they can get away with killing their own children. And this guy can be considered schizophrenic on multiple levels with a long history and all this other shit. But he's not seen that way? Like, what the fuck is going on? I just think, like, look, if what I'm saying doesn't make sense, then tell me. But from what I can tell, I believe I can put forth a pretty reasonable argument as to why Naomi Elkins needs to fucking die. For the same reason I would use Naomi Elkins if I was his defense. If I was the state, I would use the Bowers story as to why Naomi Elkins should be fucking killed. You're going to kill Bowers, but not why. They both killed friars. And I still want to know why there was no investigation into the, or if there was, what was it? Interestingly, don't you ever wonder how interrogation footage is all over YouTube? It's not the people doing it, or like the arrest videos where somebody makes an absolute jackass of themselves. If you look at the uploader will be the police department. How does the police department have the fucking ability to upload shit like that? But there's all sorts of videos showing interrogations. Interrogation videos are huge, and I guarantee the people that are in prison forever because of the interrogation tactics where they flip out and they cry and they do all these things, I guarantee they're not saying, yeah, put that out there so everybody can see how that worked out. So everybody can see the shit I said. So everybody can see how I cried. You think they're putting that shit out there? Fuck no. After making further deliberation on sentence for 2 days, the federal jury issued a unanimous decision to sentence Bowers to the death penalty on August 2nd. Bowers was the first and only criminal to be sentenced to the death penalty to death by the U.S. federal government during the presidency of Joe Biden. The only one that was worth killing, huh? Wasn't there other shit that happened? I mean, I know during the Biden presidency, shit was pretty relaxed. But this didn't take place during the Biden presidency. This took place beforehand. This was just tried during the Biden presidency.
And the great Semitism deception. But he's just a clever con, and they are teaching us a lesson.
On August 3rd, 2023, Bowers was formally sentenced to death. On August 23rd, 2023, Bowers was transferred to the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons and placed on death row at United States Penitentiary in Terre Haute. At United States Penitentiary in Terre Haute? Where the fuck is this place? Oh, 70 miles west of Indianapolis. Okay. It's called United States Penitentiary. What? Bowers attempted to appeal a sentence for a new trial in November 2023, but his request was denied in May of 2024. In December 2024, when President Joe Biden announced commutations for the death sentences of 37 out of 40 death row inmates to life imprisonment without possibility of parole, he excluded Bowers along with Diskar Turnazov, who perpetrated the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings, and Dylan Roof, who committed the 2015 Charleston church shooting, because of their convictions for either terrorism or hate-motivated mass-related crimes. I didn't know Dylan Roof was given that. Well, good. I thought that it wasn't. I know that they were like debating whether it should be for a long time. So. Says I've only been live for 4 minutes. Isn't that interesting? I thought I reset for a minute. I was like, did I reset? Now I don't know exactly how long I've been live. The Department of Justice investigative team was awarded the Attorney General's David Margolis Award for Exceptional Service in 2024 by Attorney General Merrick B. Garland. So, Bowers was also charged with 36 state criminal charges, including 11 counts of criminal homicide, 6 counts of aggressive assault, 6 counts of attempted criminal homicide, and 13 counts of ethnic intimidation. The state charges were held in abeyance pending the federal trial. Like, again, so this is a bunch of different people that are getting paid tax dollars to work on something that didn't. This guy was like, why would you need to charge him with 63 charges? You can't just charge the guy with the fucking murder and the mass crime of the fucking year, whatever. He has to have 36, like, it's like cartoonish. 535 years. Like, what kind of, you know what that, I wonder if that has to do with, like, serial numbers and shit. I mean, social security numbers and shit. Where, like, because each of us is worth so much once we become part of the contract or whatever, and that contract lasts in perpetuity, you know, throughout the universe in whatever capacity we're in. Does that mean that for 535 years, the system, like, I don't know how that whole thing works, but collects interest on that person's identity? Rather generic sounding prison again, I mean. You think so? United States prison sounds generic to you, huh? If I said to you, he's sentenced to United States prison, would you immediately be like, oh, you mean in Indianapolis? I just had to turn my sound up. I thought you muted yourself, but it was my volume control on the handset. Not being touched, just as it told you you were only 5 minutes live. That's just crazy. That's this story. I had meant to look this up, so I'm glad it kept popping up today. But this was pretty fucked up, man. Reading this narrative doesn't make me think it's true. Right? I didn't read that shit and thought, oh well, I guess I made a mistake. That totally makes sense. I can totally understand what's going on. 30 seconds. Yeah. Why not? So, watch this.
Let's talk about everyone's favorite movie, the film that we all know.
Is this the one?
In which they're using a little girl.
No, this was in Colorado. Well, I just pulled this. Okay, so the Collierville, Kroger shooting, town of Collierville, Shelby County, Tennessee, United States, suburb located, blah, blah, in Memphis, with a population of 51,324 Indian. It's funny how they didn't do all that for... Oh, okay. The shooting was a mass shooting that occurred on September 23rd, 2021 at a Kroger grocery store on Kohler 21. One person was killed and 14 others were injured before the gunman, identified as 29-year-old Thang, committed suicide by gunshot. Let's... Shooting. On the day of the shooting, the gunman, UK Thang, got into an altercation with another Kroger employee, was asked to leave at 7 a.m. He returned to his apartment and later left at 12:30 p.m. after calling his brother at 1:30. Asked to leave at exactly 7. Left at 12:30. Called his brother at 1:30 to tell him he would never see him again. Thang returned to the store and opened fire with 2 pistols and a rifle. At the time of the shooting, 44 employees and a number of customers were inside the building. He entered the Kroger through the store in the south entrance wearing a black trench coat and mask and green cat. Thing walked to the nearby building, opened fire. He injured 2 women in the deli area. At this point, multiple people ran out of the store through the entrance. Thang entered from. He fired shots at them and hit no one. Thang walked north through the store. In the south exit vestibule, 70-year-old Olivia King struggles to escape while pushing a cart. She was pushing a cart. Thang walked by the exit and fired at her and an employee. He fatally wounded King and injured the employees as they both got out to try. Thang managed to altercation, blah, 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 blah. Thang fired. The shooting lasted approximately 3 minutes and 55 seconds. Cashier 911 calls. Authorities began receiving 911 calls around 1:30 p.m. Reporting an active shooter situation at the Kroger site. The first police officers arrived at the scene at 1:34. They began clearing the store by searching aisle by aisle. Officers discovered people hiding in freezers and lying and then run away from Thang. He was later found dead in the back of the store. A self-inflicted gunshot wound. Does that sound like the same narrative you got for the Tree of Life? I just randomly picked that one. We're getting approximate times and all this other shit with this one. Do you see the difference? How fairy tale, like I skipped a bunch, but none of that shit gave... I kept looking for times. That's what I was looking for when I was scanning over it. Check out your Genius Trust. Yeah, the Cest Cuvia Trust and how your name accrues debt as well as a lot of money. Right. That's what I mean. Is that why they sentence people to those crazy fucking sentences like that? I mean, it's fucking wild.
Al Pacino was 30. Simonetta was 16. That's not sweet, it's dirty, yet it's still not cold obscene. Since there is no in between, you don't want them dead.
Oh, here's the one I'm talking about. East Eaton Township Weiss Market shooting in the early hours of June 8th, 2017. Employees at Weiss Market Supermarket in Eaton Township, Pennsylvania, United States were stocking and closing the store. No, this isn't it either. 24-year-old, well, let's read what it says. Shortly before 1 a.m., 24-year-old Randy Stair barricaded the exits of the store and proceeded to shoot and kill 3 of the co-workers before fatally shooting himself. Stair arrived for his late shift at the West Market in the evening. Approximately 11 p.m., he proceeded to work for approximately an hour and 40 minutes while blocking several emergency exits. Stair went back to the crew area in the rear of the store, blocked the remaining exits, then locked the automatic doors at the main entrance of the store. He then pulled out 2 pistol grip pump action shotguns that he had concealed in the duffel bag. He walked around the store, killing 3 employees, Victoria Brung, Brian Hayes, and Tara Lee Steering. He then approached another co-worker, Kristen Newell, who he decided to spare. Stair was seen on surveillance camera footage standing behind Newell as she worked for about 5 seconds before proceeding to the next aisle. He had killed 3 people already, or shot shotguns off, and she was still working. Do you know how loud a shotgun would be at 1 in the morning in a fucking grocery store? After this, Stair proceeded to fire at glass and other merchandise in the store and shot multiple small portable propane tanks, which failed to explode. Around this time, Newell managed to escape from the store and call 911. After a short time, Stair briefly stopped shooting and went to the deli section of the store before beginning to shoot another group of items. While Newell was in the store, Stair placed the loaded shotgun to his mouth and fired a single round through his palate, killing himself instantly. A total of 59 shots have been fired. All the gunshot rounds fired came from only one of 2 shotguns he bought. Again, do you hear the alliteration and the storytelling and all that in this? No, it's not there. I'm surprised I can't find the shooting I'm talking about. Hyper kosher supermarket siege. What is this? January 9th, 2015, Amberry Cooley, armed with a submachine gun, an assault rifle, and 2 Torgev pistols, entered and attacked a hyper kosher supermarket in Port de Venise in Paris, France. There, Cooley murdered 4 Friar hostages and held 15 other hostages during the siege, in which he demanded that the perpetrators of the Charlie Hebdo shooting, the Koshy brothers, not be harmed. Yeah. Oh, that's one of these fake dumb shits. I'm really surprised I can't find this 2019 Jersey. A shooting took place at a kosher grocery store. Why are there so many of these? Here in Jersey City, New Jersey, 3 people were killed at the store by 2 perpetrators, David Anderson and Francine Graham. The assailants also wounded 1 customer and 2 police officers before being killed by police during an ensuing shootout. Man, it seems like this happens a lot. But the funny thing is, we only get the really, really, like, by the second, where we know the seconds that these things happen, in the ones where it's all relies on them. Anyway, it's been nice talking to you, Karen. Have yourselves a great day. Go get your free downloads and stuff. www.the-bilderberg-group.com. It's free. It's free to download, free to listen to. All we ask is that you share someone. When you click download, it'll ask you how much you want to pay. You say it's free. You push 0 and it's free. So yeah, there's that. Have yourself a wonderful day. Go check out the Hollywoodism link. That's the second link there. It's the most important film ever made. It tells you why you're the dumb Goyim that you are. Go check out Um, um, the third link, which is the Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness article, which explains to you why they are the way they are, why they can live off of genocide and not worry about it. It's pretty fucked up, but it explains it. And then there's a whole bunch of other receipts in the description, along with links to the music videos and all that on Facebook. Like, share, and follow on Facebook. That way, if I'm not live here or I'm live there, like, share, and follow this page. Have yourself a wonderful day. And you pedophiles, well, you kill yourself. Now, wait.